You guys, these things are haunting my dreams. I can't look at any disc in real life because I get startled. Frisbees, plates, trash cans, lids, etc. Okay. Disc shamans are kind of bad. I can get that. So disc shamans were recently nerfed. You will notice that they kind of float around quite a bit now. And I think, honestly, that's fine. Right now, disc shamans feel like they're in a good spot. I would hate for them to be too easy because, frankly, if they just, hover around and don't do anything, that would just look weird. So, basically, the way disc shamans kind of operate right now is they will throw their spear at you and maybe do a little bit of a twirl or something, maybe get behind you. But then a lot of the times they're kind of just, floating there menacingly. And I think this is a perfect moment for, basically to shoot at them. But your sniper, your heavy, your tactical really have to be, on the ball at taking out disc shamans. And they used to be one of the worst enemies to deal with next to zoanthropes and spore mines. So I'm kind of curious what you guys feel about disc shamans now that they have been nerfed. It's been a bit since I've been fighting these guys, and I genuinely actually have a more fun time fighting disc shamans. Now, with that said, I've been playing a lot of sniper. So, yeah. So, basically, the bolt sniper makes quick work out of these guys, and it's actually really fun. It makes chaos missions really enjoyable as a sniper player to just, get some headshots on the disc shaman. It feels really, really good. But yeah, I can understand where they are annoying to deal with, like with bulwark classes or the assault classes. I guess the Neo-Volkite pistol would likely be good against these guys. The plasma pistol would be good against these guys. The heavy bolt pistol would be good against these guys. But yeah, I'm just, I'm just checking in on you guys to see how you guys feel about disc shamans. And do you think they need another nerf, or do you think they are balanced? I used to hate them, now I don't mind them. You just gotta always be watching them, usually first priority target. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if they show up, you definitely try to take them out as soon as possible, or at least get some sort of damage on them so another teammate can possibly, pick them off. And you always gotta be watching them. I understand this, but this is a lot harder than you think. Sometimes they do moves that can get behind you, and honestly, I feel like parrying these guys is a little bit weird depending on, their level of, height. If you are too close to them, I feel like it's one of the roughest parries in the game because they just immediately go into their attack as soon as they can, and yeah, it does a lot of damage. Dude, frankly, sometimes disc shamans, they're just not in the position for a melee attack, and yeah, that can be kind of a pain when you're looking to block them or parry them. Sometimes I just think it's better off. You're just better off spamming dodge away, because yeah, their discs can definitely kind of ricochet back at you. It's a whole ordeal when it comes to close range combat with the disc shamans. You always got to be watching them, usually first priority target. Definitely get some damage on them as soon as you see them, 100%. I find it so hard to get the timing right to parry or block them, but once they go down, it's the most satisfying thing to kill them with their own flying saucer. Yeah, I gotta agree. That's funny. I was literally just talking about how annoying it can be to parry or block them depending on where they are at, because if they're right above you, it's a pain. I was just talking about that. But once they go down, it's the most satisfying thing to kill them with their own flying saucer. I've had a comment point out this before, and you can definitely get them next to a wall, and then you can pick up the saucer and slam the saucer right into their face when it basically slams them against the wall with their own saucer. It's kind of funny. They definitely are a bit satisfying to get those executions on. Honestly, even getting the spear and using that for the execution is very satisfying as well, because frankly, I just like using spears, glaives, halberds, those sort of things. I would love to see a weapon like that in this game. And yeah, they can be the most satisfying kill in the game, especially if you play sniper and get a nice headshot on one of them. It's very satisfying because they can be such an issue. Just picking them off with a bolt sniper, it just feels so good because you're making the bulwark and the assault on your team just have a little bit of an easier time. They really make me wish I had gotten my Survivor's Helm sooner. I'm stuck trying to get Reliquary done, and I'm losing my mind. Alright, so I guess I guess they mean they wish they were playing Reliquary before the Disc Shamans. That's an interesting take, actually, if we take this at, like, you know, if we take this at face value. Is Chaos harder to fight with or without the Disc Shamans? Well, keep in mind, before the Disc Shamans were introduced in the game, the Rubric Marines were basically the strongest we've had in the game. Since then, they've been, like, periodically nerfed, whether it's through their attack speed or buffing weapons to deal more damage against them, like the Neo-Volkite pistol. The Neo-Volkite pistol's so good at taking out Rubric Marines, man. Definitely try it out if you haven't yet. I'm stuck trying to get Reliquary done. Yeah, Reliquary can be a pain, 100%. Because especially Reliquary on the bridge with Disc Shamans can be some of the worst. It can be some of the worst experiences you can have in this game. Frankly, just because the Disc Shamans, at least, you know, before the nerf, they would do everything they can to just avoid you. And then the longer you take trying to take out the Disc Shamans while you're on the bridge, just, you know, it leaves the opportunity for extremists to spawn in and, you know, make everybody have a really rough time. But now, I guess, just have a sniper and you should be fine. The heavy bolter is really good against Disc Shamans, so heavies have a really good time fighting Disc Shamans depending on what weapon they are using. I guess if they're using the Melta, that's likely not a good time to be a heavy there. But yeah, definitely pull out the Neo-Volkite pistol if you really need the extra help aiming at them. I think the Neo-Volkite pistol does a great job at, you know, providing enough chip damage and enough burst damage to get the Disc Shamans into executionable state. But yeah, Reliquary is just hard. So no matter what, if the Disc Shamans were in the game or if they weren't, Reliquary is still gonna be hard, and you're still gonna be losing your mind. These guys are basically a skill issue for a player, especially Sniper. Sheesh. Okay, somebody with the hard truth here. I will say, yeah, if the Sniper's having an issue taking out the Disc Shamans, that's not a good sniper. It normally takes me within 3 shots to get a Disc Shaman down, and that's if I'm, like, shooting poorly. Sometimes if you just nail a headshot with a sniper, you can get them down with 1 shot. So the thing is, I don't blame Bulwarks or Assault players of having a tough issue with the Disc Shamans. Now, with that said, the Assault players can sometimes land a jump pack slam right on a Disc Shaman when they are close enough to the ground. Another good moment for this is when they're going upstairs. Sometimes they are more level with the ground when they're going up an incline, so you can land melee attacks that way. But for Bulwarks, if a Bulwark goes down against a Disc Shaman, I don't blame them. I really don't. like, to be completely honest, that Disc Shaman could have just been hovering around like a certain corner in the room, and the Bulwark is just swinging at them. They can't get any parries because the parry Q is off screen. It's just, it can be really a big struggle for melee classes to take out Disc Shamans. But for practically more than half of the class roster, the Disc Shamans shouldn't be that big of a deal, considering Vanguards can grapple up to them and hit them with a Melta. The Oculus is good against Disc Shamans. The Instigator is good against Disc Shamans as long as you're hitting their headshots. But yeah, especially with Sniper and Heavy, you shouldn't really have an issue taking these things out. Skill issue is pretty harsh. I think there are definitely bad matchups, 100%. As a Bulwark, they are actually not super annoying. 1 parry sends them in execution state, 3 charged plasma shots will 2 if someone has the extra range damage perk. Alright, somebody with some pushback. And of course it's Crimson here with the Bulwark knowledge, which is nice. Yeah, what they are mentioning with the 1 parry is, I assume, Intimidating Aura. And I can definitely see that being the case. Intimidating Aura is very powerful. That said, I wonder what Intimidating Aura, like, if this is possible at lower difficulties as well, because I know Aura has a difficulty scale. 3 charge plasma is definitely going to work throughout the entire game. Like, that's just a very solid way to take out the Disc Shamans. And yes, this is a very good point. It's not going to be super annoying if you know what you're doing. Crimson is a very experienced Bulwark, so he likely has experience fighting everything in the game, and likely has a good strategy for multiple enemies, all of the enemies probably. But yeah, use Intimidating Aura if you are using Bulwark. I definitely agree with this, 100%. 3 charged plasma shots. Yes, this is a great example of why the plasma pistol is likely the strongest Bulwark weapon if you really want some ranged damage output.